come here to do. When we are in when we are in primary school, there are some big words our teachers used to tell us then. Photosynthesis, Some would tell us metamorphosis, and sometimes it took us some time to learn these words. But eventually, we were able to learn them. Sometimes they told us in school that when you want to lie to your parents and get some money from them, just tell them you need money for metamorphosis or you need money for, and they'll give you. So today, we are into metamorphosis. And I want to just tell us a bit of that. If you don't mind, you can put on that picture that shows, that gives us a vivid, picture of what metamorphosis is all about. Metamorphosis has to do with a complete change over, a complete, change from one form to another. And usually, this transformation is usually in the positive sense. Anybody can change. Someone can change from bad to worse, from good to better, and from better to best. But usually, metamorphosis, there is a complete change from one form to another, so that if somebody comes and sees you today, comes the next day, he sees a completely different part of you and wonders what has happened. So metamorphosis is another word, transformation, like somebody change in biology. You can see is a change. You see, for us to get a butterfly, of course, everybody likes butterfly. Who does not like butterfly here? Even children, when they see, what's the name? When they see lizard, they see some ants on it, they run away. But when they see butterfly, they run towards it. They are not scared. So, butterfly does not just form itself. It first of all, egg, of course, we know what is egg. Egg is, their eggs are very small. They break and form larva. Larva, if you have seen a maggot before, that's how larva is. They are very soft. So you can imagine a hard-shelled egg that converted itself to something very soft and pasty. And then this converts itself to pupa. Pupa, you won't even know that these things are living things. And all of a sudden, boom, it becomes a butterfly. So you can see the complete change. This is biology. But we are talking of spiritual or spirituality, something that has to do with spirituality. So metamorphosis in our own context is transformation of a person that is noticeable. The change is noticeable in one's character. It is noticeable in one's appearance. It is noticeable in the way one carries himself. And it is also noticeable in the condition that surrounds somebody. So someone that saw you maybe as an egg Christian one day, sees you as a larva Christian another time, he comes the other time, sees you as a pupa. After several years, he comes and sees you again and discovers that there is development. So a Christian life is a life of metamorphosis. And that is what we've come to experience. And I believe by the end of today, our entire life will be metamorphosized in Jesus' name. Let's play the video.
Metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is a process of major physical changes that animals go through to become adults. In the insect world, metamorphosis is how insects develop, grow, and change. A butterfly, like most insects, goes through a complete metamorphosis that includes 4 stages of development. They are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. A butterfly begins as an egg. Larva is the 2nd stage of development. In the case of a butterfly, a caterpillar hatches from the egg. The caterpillar spends its time eating as much as it can and growing. The 3rd stage of development is the pupa, or chrysalis stage. During this stage, the caterpillar spins a silk pad on a twig or leaf and hangs there. It molts, or sheds its skin, covering itself in a green exoskeleton. Inside the pupa, the caterpillar is changing its body into an adult butterfly with beautiful wings and 6 jointed legs. Along with the physical changes, metamorphosis also brings about changes in behavior. A caterpillar spends its time crawling and feeding on plants. As an adult, a butterfly spends its time flying from flower to flower and sipping nectar. Amphibians, like frogs, also go through a complete metamorphosis. Frogs begin life in an egg. A tadpole hatches from an egg. The tadpole is the larva stage of development. A tadpole has gills and a tail. It spends its time eating and growing. Over time, a tadpole matures and sprouts hind legs, then front limbs. It also develops lungs, giving it the ability to breathe. Eventually, the tadpole loses its tail, and a mature frog can now spend its time on land or in the water. Some insects, like grasshoppers, go through 3 stages of metamorphosis, called incomplete metamorphosis. Grasshopper eggs grow into nymphs. Small, odd-shaped grasshoppers with no wings. As time passes, they molt their exoskeletons and grow wings and become adult grasshoppers.